The murder of KTS Dre. After Big Op's father was shot and killed on the 6,800 block of South Crandon Avenue, the situation on the streets became even more dangerous. It was clear the war wasn't slowing down anytime soon. Big Op, a known member of NLMB, and his circle were now dealing with a personal loss, and tensions were rising fast. But this wasn't his first tragedy. Years earlier, Fazzo had already been killed during a dice game at Lakeside. On April 12, 2010, G. Fazzo was at a dice game on the 2,900 block of East 79th Street in Chicago when violence broke out. At some point, shots were fired. Police responded to reports of gunfire and found Fazzo shot in the back. He was rushed to the hospital, but he later died from his injuries. With Fazzo gone and now Big Op's father killed, it would only get worse. And from that point on, the streets became even more active. Then it escalated when KTS members KTS Vaughn, KTS Dre, Posto, and a couple of others walked into the McDonald's and caught the NLMB guys lacking and pinned young Cairo against the wall, punched him in the face, and forced him to say F rock.
Say rock, man. Right now. Say rock. What? Say it. Hey. Ain't no unzipping enough. Say rock. Say it. Don't be scared, little bro. Oh, shit. Damn, bro.
As a result, this would turn into a full-blown war, with both sides moving as if there was no turning back. Not long after, Lakeside would suffer a devastating loss. The next person to lose his life in the war was D'Angelo Simmons, also known as Lolo. On April 5, 2013, Lolo was walking along the 8,000 block of South Manistee Avenue with another Lakeside member. According to reports, they allegedly bumped into Mad Max and another member of No Limit. News reports stated that a gunman walked up and opened fire on Lolo. The shooting happened quickly, leaving Lolo pronounced dead at the scene. It has been claimed that Mad Max was the one who fired the shot that killed Lolo. While never officially confirmed, many in the streets believed he was responsible. At the time, this was reportedly his third body within a short span, which only added to his growing reputation. One after another, well-known and respected Lakeside members were being killed, and his name kept ringing bells in the street. Now, even while this was going on, Lakeside were desperate to get back for Lolo, but behind the scene, many believe Posto had played a role in the killing of Kobe and his alleged involvement in the McDonald's incident with his homies. Because of that, No Limit 2 was desperate for a get-back, and they would act quickly. After all, Posto had built a reputation for regularly mocking his ops, even taking shots at G Herbo on social media.
No, world. I bet that is. I ain't never heard of you keep start rapping.
Catching him, though, wasn't easy, but on October 5th, Posto would be arrested, temporarily taking him off the streets. But after he was released on November 18th, 2013, the clock was ticking. It would take only 5 days after his release for his ops to catch up with him, finally. On November 23, 2013, tragedy struck on the 2,700 block of East 81st Street. Posto was shot in the head inside a first-floor hallway of a residential building. Residents reported hearing 3 to 4 gunshots, and someone in the building quickly called the police. When officers arrived, they found Posto lying on the floor, bleeding from a gunshot wound. He was rushed to Northwestern Hospital in critical condition, but despite efforts to save him, he was later pronounced dead. Police later labeled the killing as gang-related, adding to the belief that it was tied to the ongoing street war. In the years that followed, rumors began to circulate. Some claimed No Limit Mad Max was involved in the hit. Others, however, pointed the finger at Crazy James, also associated with No Limit because of his lyrics where he says, "Tell Posto to pick his face up, this is no fairy tale. I drill headshot straight, kill pistol gang, I killed." KTS Vaughn would later be seen on social media spinning the block, making it clear he was eager to get back for Posto. At one point, he even returned to that same McDonald's that had become such a central location in the ongoing beef, saying Posto gang and F rock once again.
Man, Posto gang, man, we will fast it up. What now? You talking about? You don't want no McDonald's?
Then in 2015, the war would circle back in a major way. KTS Vaughn, who was widely regarded as one of KTS's most feared shooters, would eventually be in line to lose his life in the ongoing war. But before his death, he continued to escalate tensions through music. He released several diss tracks, including songs like Street Life, where he openly taunted rivals saying, "Caught me lacking in this street life. Every shooter, not a killer in this street life. 2015, ain't no structure in this street life. I smoke a lot of Kobe in this street life. G Herbo would clap back by dissing Lakeside's Dead Ops, releasing a track titled Back At It where he raps, "I'm up on the block, that's 78th, that's where we go. I'm smoking on Pasto, I'm smoking on Gucci, I'm smoking on Scoob. No limit G Herbo, I'm ballin' like Kobe. You already know I'm smoking on Posto. I'm smoking on Bud, Lolo, Scoop, and T-Bone." And then he would make reference to the McDonald's incident on this song, saying, "Check the video because a few of the people from it, like Pasto, are now gone." Soon, the main face from the No Lackin' 3 video would also meet a tragic end. On June 22, 2015, KTS Vaughn reportedly exchanged threats back and forth with a No Limit member known as Choppa, and the very next day, on the 23rd of June 2015, KTS Vaughn was standing outside an apartment building on the 7500 block of Ellis Avenue, where a group of men riding in an SUV allegedly spotted him and opened fire. KTS Vaughn was hit multiple times, including 2 shots to the chest and 1 to the head. Choppa from NLMB, who had gone back and forth with Vaughn just a day before his death, would go live shortly after the murder, rapping lyrics from Vaughn's track Street Life, a song where Vaughn had mentioned killing for Posto. But Choppa flipped the words, changing the lyrics to suggest that Vaughn should have been the one to die for Posto, and that now he is in the sky. He even went as far as implying that their fallen homies are now beating Vaughn up in the afterlife.
If he ain't killed for Posto, it wouldn't be right. He should have killed for Posto and kept his pipe. But now he up there for no business.
This is actually an ongoing war that would end up costing the lives of several young rappers and affiliates on both sides. And even after the high-profile killings, the violence didn't stop. More bodies would continue to drop. Incidents like the shooting of No Limit Greg inside a barbershop while he was simply getting a haircut. Then in 2020, KTS Dre would catch a charge and ended up getting locked up for a short period of time. But by December 2020, he was already back home, and he would be seen on Live.
Man, I ain't gonna be nowhere but in the rack. I'm over east, Mo Block soldier. We ain't shooting from no car, we just trying to get close. Talking about, am I in the rack? Had court nigga in Cook County today. Bro, you need to leave the city, unless they gonna get you. What?
At one point, Dre would openly address his ops, making it clear he was fed up with the constant threats, basically telling them to come get him, saying he was tired of the non-stop talk and pressure being put on his name.
Sooner than later, y'all. I'm tired of this. Come take me out, because I can't take it no more. Sooner than later, then you. Y'all be pissing me off with that stuff. Y'all been threatening me for 20 years.
Later on, when someone in his comment section brought up the alleged incident between him and Cairo at McDonald's, he quickly denied it.
Explain the video of you punching Cairo. Who the is Cairo, bro? What is that?
Now Dre would find himself arrested again, this time for a charge where he allegedly fought a police officer over a gun during a traffic stop. He didn't stay locked up for long because within a month, he became eligible for bail and would be placed back on house arrest with an ankle monitor. But unfortunately, he would experience one of the worst deaths in Chicago history. As he was leaving the Cook County Jail with a lady, a car pulled up and 2 unknown men pulled out of the vehicle and opened fire. More than 60 shots were fired towards KTS Dre, and at that spot, he died.
Those shootings happened on Saturday evening just before 9. A man named Lundre Sylvester was leaving the jail. He went by the rap name KTS Dre. He'd just been bailed out, and police say he was ambushed by 2 men who got out of a vehicle near the jail. Sylvester was shot as many as 64 times and pronounced.
The next drill rapper would also get shot after dissing his ops, the murder of JayDaYoungan. The death of JayDaYoungan has often been linked, at least in conversation, to the wider web of beefs surrounding other drill and street-affiliated rappers like NBA Youngboy and Julio Fulio. To be clear, there has never been any official confirmation tying those artists directly to what happened, but the rivalries and tension in that space were so real that they made people talk. For example, the issues between JayDaYoungan and NBA Youngboy reportedly began around early 2019. Jay had reached out about doing a potential collaboration and even shared a preview of a track on social media. Youngboy responded harshly, telling him to take it down. Jay didn't back down. He fired back publicly, saying he didn't care about the song and adding more trolling comments. Although some people later claimed the account that first responded to Jay might have been fake, by that point, it didn't even matter. The situation had already started to snowball. Things escalated even further when Jania Meshel, the mother of NBA YoungBoy's child, got pulled into the middle of the tension. Rumors began circulating that she was having a thing with JayDaYoungan, and that only made the situation more personal. JayDaYoungan dropped a diss track titled 38,000. On the track, he went after NBA YoungBoy and his entire crew, calling them out directly. He also didn't hold back when trolling YoungBoy about the situation with his baby mama. He raps, "Finna get real disrespectful, I don't give a I'm in my bag," gets pissed, and plus he mad about it. When I was on his hoe, he was steady asking me about and begging me to leave her alone, acting like the You put that pussy comment on my post, they laughed about that shit, but I was laughing when your baby mama gagged all on my dick. On the other hand, his beef with Julio Fulio also in a way add to everything, as during this time he was going back and forth with YoungBoy. He was still into it with Julio Fulio because the beef between them began when JayDaYoungan linked up with Youngin Ace. Fulio from the rival KTA/6 Block side saw this as Jay aligning with his ops in the deadly ATK versus KTA war, but everything came crashing down for JayDaYoungan as he would be killed. On July 27, 2022, JayDaYoungan was ambushed while at his mother's home. Some unknown armed men pulled up and fired dozens of shots. JayDaYoungan was hit 8 times before he died.
One of the victims is a rapper with a long criminal history who goes by JayDaYoungan. JayDaYoungan. Police say they were working on a shooting on Superior Avenue near Pontomac Street when they were also called to a scene on Ott Street at Marshall Richardson Road. And we're still trying to piece all of this together, but sources are telling us the motive for that violence was retaliation.
After news of JayDaYoungan's death broke, Fulio took to Instagram to call out the Louisiana rapper in his own way. He posted sarcastic messages, including one that read, "R.I.P. JayDaYoungan, you will be missed, LOL." In another post, he made it clear that his feelings hadn't softened and that he is still beefing with JayDaYoungan, saying, "Dude used to diss me just to be cool with the ops, even got them boys tatted, now look," then ending with a laughing emoji. Later on, Fulio went on Instagram Live to address the backlash he was receiving dissing Jay after his death and also explaining why he didn't feel bad about disrespecting him.
Think about it like this. Think about it like this, bro. Say if you from out of town, right? You from out of town. I'm from Jacksonville, though. Me and my ops, we from Jacksonville. You from out of town, right? So you see what we got going on. So just cause you rocking with a rapper, you rocking with a... You act like you my op now. You get what I'm saying? So now you act like you my op. Now you dissing me in songs saying F my dad, homeboys, this and that. How I'ma feel? But I just supposed to sit back, just, you know what I'm saying, be quiet, don't say nothing. If it was me on the other, did the same thing. This man used to wear the bibby jerseys. He used to wear the bibby jerseys all type, like, he done diss me in songs.
Check out this next one that died after dropping his location online. The murder of Pop Smoke. Many people believe Pop Smoke's death wasn't the result of a gang war, but rather an act driven by jealousy and opportunity. At the time, his career was taking off. He was gaining major attention from hit tracks like What You Know, About Love, and Dior. The buzz around his name was growing fast, and it felt like all his hard work was finally paying off. He was preparing to go on a tour, and everything seemed to be lining up for him, which is why his sudden death shocked so many people and left fans wondering what really led to that tragic night. On February 18th, 2020, less than 24 hours before his death, Pop Smoke was staying at a rented mansion in Los Angeles. The home reportedly belonged to reality TV star Teddy Mellencamp and her husband Edwin Arroyav. That morning, Pop Smoke seemed to be in a good mood. He posted a photo on his Instagram story that showed the view from the house, making it clear he was in Beverly Hills. Many believe that post may have unintentionally tipped off the wrong people and made him look like an easy target. Later, he updated his story again, this time sharing a clip of himself getting a haircut at a local barbershop.
Cut.
He also posted a series of pictures with one of his close friends. In one of the photos, his friend was holding a stack of cash while they sat inside a white Range Rover, But the biggest mistake was when he posted a picture showing where he stays. You could clearly see the last 3 digits of the house address. Just hours before the attack, Pop Smoke posted a photo showing off gift bags from the luxury brand Amiri. But in the background of the photo, part of the mansion's address could be seen.
Wait. Make 'em merry, make 'em merry. Billie Jean, Billie Jean. Good looks, make 'em merry. Gifts.
So this is when it all went down. After Pop Smoke returned to the mansion from the studio, something already seemed off. While he had been away, a black BMW had reportedly driven past the house. According to reports, someone stepped out of the car and quietly walked toward the back of the property before returning to the vehicle. Moments later, the car sped off. When Pop Smoke got back to the mansion, he went to use the bathroom. Within minutes, 4 men reportedly forced their way inside. According to reports, one of the intruders confronted a woman who came with Pop Smoke, pointing a gun at her, while another took her phone and searched her purse. The other men moved through the house toward Pop Smoke. It appeared they were specifically looking for him. Within seconds, gunshots were heard. Pop Smoke was struck and fell to the ground. Despite being injured, he tried to move and make his way downstairs, but more shots were fired. His friend tried to save him, but it was already too late.
Now at 11, we're following breaking news. A rap star on the rise, killed during a violent home invasion in the Hollywood Hills.
The radio call was called in by someone from back east and stated a friend of theirs' home was being broken into by multiple suspects and that one of them was armed with a handgun.
When police arrived at the home on Hercules Drive, they detained several people who turned out to be witnesses. Those men say there were between 2 and 6 suspects. At least one was wearing a mask. Investigators don't know if the home or the people inside were being targeted, but we showed police social media posts that appear to show Pop Smoke and a friend posing in front of the home yesterday with what looks like stacks of money behind them. The home is actually owned by Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Teddy Mellencamp, who confirmed that she had rented the property out through a third-party company. Neighbors say they've been frustrated by the constant renters because even though nothing like this has happened before, they can't keep track of who should and shouldn't be in the neighborhood.
The murder of Lil Jeff. It all started from his fallout with Trap City because of his wrong move by stealing Carter's chain, who is a well-known member of Trap City. Apparently, Drill City and Trap City were all part of an alliance known as Bloodhound 0679, a strong bond that lasted almost 10 years. They moved together, supported each other in the streets, and built a reputation that made their name feared across the city. But Lil Jeff made a wrong decision to have broken the bond they had. According to Trap City Rob in an interview, the beef between Drill City and Trap City started when Lil Jeff stole the wristwatch.
Okay, because the way Reddit, this is why I want the club too. They say his dad from down here, Big J or some shit like that.
Everybody
Big Jeff.
From around here. Anybody you got.
Also, his daddy is from down here.
Yeah, fuck used to hang with them. They know what they did.
So, okay.
They know what they did.
So, okay, the Bloodhounds, y'all was cool.
Everybody that got a
that was my homie. He stole the chain, bro. We tried like he took it. He stole my homie chain.
Who was that South J or some shit?
Nah, brother. One of the other guys.
This one of the other. This other one. I was letting him wear the J. He come back like he got into a high speed with 12. Line saying he lost it. You know what I'm saying? That's how motherfucker broke their little shit. You know motherfuckers fucking with them, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, home to that was my dog. Like that's my crowd. Like we every day. No, that's for them. Like I was locked in, so I ain't. Little boys weird. They got confused, man. But you know what's going on? Shit together, bro. You gotta ride with the block. It's my block.
Damn.
If you do some snake somebody from the hood, gang.
For sure.
Get scarred.
Around what year was that? How long ago that was?
Like 2 years ago.
Damn. So it was never really no real blood shit. Just about some J.
Yeah, about some J. Yeah. Some little change. That's what they mad about. That's why they try to confuse the internet. That's what they really mad about. You know?
Yeah.
You know, Jay Boogie, like under us, that's our shorty. Like, Lil Jeff, I was in the field with this daddy. Yeah. Like this Lil Jeff brother, like on David. I don't know how this gonna play out.
They say he ain't claiming the hood still.
But he Trap City.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
from.
That shit
How the
just all
fuck you gonna
weird,
do that
bro.
and you over Saturday night blood? Like you can't do that.
But we already know Trap City and Drill City was the same. And water, like that's our family.
Yeah.
So that chain incident really split it up? Or was it something else before then?
It was a chain, bro. It was a chain, man. They tried to steal a chain. He ain't take it. No, I ain't trying to limit his image. You know what I'm saying? He did
I
not
just
take
feel like
that chain, bro.
when it came to like when you wait on some real, Because, you know, we don't just move on situations. So we just feel like, a lot of motherfuckers feel like it was just shit with the chain on my soul. Like, from our hood, being friendly, let them wear your chain. Who does?
In what many believe was retaliation, Z Money was later gunned down. He was reportedly sitting inside his car on the 1,300 block of East 79th Street when shots rang out. After the shooting, he was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. Sadly, despite efforts to save him, he was pronounced dead shortly after. The loss of Z Money was a massive blow for the Bloodhounds, especially for Lil Jeff. Z Money wasn't just his cousin, he was like a brother to him. After Z Money's death, Lil Jeff would be desperate for a get-back, and on June 25th, a Trap City member named Leal was sitting inside a rideshare car in the Little Italy neighborhood when someone pulled up and shot him.
Chicago police investigating a fatal shooting yesterday evening. 19-year-old Jaleel Goins was pronounced dead at Rush University Medical Center, but police and nearby residents tell us the incident began in the 1300 block of West Taylor Street, where Goins was a passenger in a rideshare and was shot. Then the rideshare driver drove Goins. This woman was outside to meet someone. She tells me she was looking down at her phone, then heard the shots. She thought she had been shot, but she had not.
I'm down there on the ground, crying and shaking and stuff. Pow, pow, pow. They said it was like 8 shots. No, I believe it was more than.
Lil Jeff and Q50 would non-stop diss Leal in different tracks. At the same time, Lil Jeff was still very active in the streets, allegedly involved in serious crimes, including double and triple murders. But as the cycle continued, Lil Jeff had no idea that what would become his final drill would also be the last move he'd ever make. On June 8, 2024, everything reportedly came crashing down for Lil Jeff and the Bloodhounds. According to reports circulating online, Lil Jeff, Q50, and a few others were allegedly in rival territory when gunfire broke out. Rumors claim Lil Jeff was hit multiple times, said to be more than 10 shots, before collapsing to the ground. Then, just a month later, tragedy struck again when one of his close associates was also killed. The murder of Lil Scoom. Just a few days after Lil Jeff's death, the Bloodhounds suffered another loss. One of their most promising rappers and close friends, Lil Scoom, was killed. It happened around midnight on July 7th, just hours after he was seen at a house in the Chatham neighborhood on Chicago's South Side, near 89th Place and Langley Avenue. Surveillance footage later leaked online showed Lil Scoom, a male friend, and a woman, allegedly his girlfriend, trying to open the door without keys. They arrived at the house around 9:20 p.m., and about 2 hours later, gunshots rang out. When police arrived roughly 6 minutes after the shots were reported, at least one suspect was still on the scene and reportedly fired toward the officers.
4264 squad, just confirming, do we have a location where that person was shot? 662 Charlie. Just watch the 6 o'clock.
10-1-89 in St. Lawrence, shots fired at the police, 89 in St. Lawrence, shots fired. About 700 East Side, 89 place. 700 East 89 place, 10-1, they're shooting at the police. 10-1, they're shooting at the police, 700 East 89 place, they're shooting at the police. Need more cars over there, 700 East 89 place, they're shooting at the police, 10-1.
Rumors soon began spreading on Reddit, suggesting that Lil Scoom was backdoored by a girl. Many pointed fingers at a lady named Nene Brooks, the girl with them in the surveillance video. Police rushed to the scene and found Lil Scoom lying near the house with gunshot wound to the chest. Rumors quickly spread online, with many suggesting that Scoom had been backdoored by a girl. Attention soon focused on a woman named Nene Brooks, the same woman seen with him in the surveillance video. Just like that, 2 young talents were gone, just a little space of time, and we believe Bloodhounds have retaliated for both rappers.